Phoenix International Raceway is Carl Edwards. He drives the number 19 Stanley Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Carl, talk about how the first practice went for you and your outlook this weekend here at PIR.
Practice actually it started out a little rough. I was really struggling, and the guys dialed it in pretty well. So we've got a fast car for qualifying, and to me, I don't know what the other drivers how they feel, but it feels like that Goodyear tire is much different. It feels like it's gonna. As it lays down the rubber and you drive through it, I can kind of feel the rubber having a bigger effect on the race car. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to race that way.
Questions for Carl? If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless mic. Carl Edwards questions. Bob Pockris all the way in the back, and then we'll come to Claire B.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Do you coming in here today, did you think at all about the way things ended here in November, and does that still kind of sting with you at all?
Appreciate you bringing that up, Bob. That's great. I had a dog that died when I was a kid that really stuck with me, too. That was wonderful. Yeah, I thought about that. I mean, but that's just the way racing goes. That's the way things go. And, I was also last year really proud of how we finished the year. And if it weren't for that rain, I like to think that we'd have had a shot at competing for the championship there at Homestead. So yeah, as bad as it was, it also reminds me that, hey, we were that close to getting this championship, but yeah, it's just the way it is. I love coming here. I mean, this place has been so great to me. I've had some super races here. I've had a lot of fun. First pavement race I ever ran was here. It's just it's a cool place for me.
Go ahead, Claire.
It's good to get to talk about that, though. I appreciate it.
Get it out of the way. Go ahead, Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. When you see all the Kevin Harvick dominance here, winning 4 of the last, five of the last 7, and you know how good he is here. Some of the drivers said they were studying the tape of what he does around the track and the line. How do you face a dominant guy like that who's just so good, and what do you think that he has here?
I don't know. That is tough when someone, figures a track out that well. And this place it's such a fine edge. Your car has to be perfect all the way around. You have to drive perfectly. But I think really at this time in the sport, for anyone to be that dominant at a track, they really must have something special. But yeah, I think the whole field is chasing those guys and chasing Kevin in that 4 car at this racetrack. So we'll learn everything we can. But we'd like to end that. I love winning here. This place is just great. It's such a neat racetrack. Hopefully we can be fast.
Does the downforce change that maybe? Is it a line on the track? Can you see the line when you watch the tape of how he races here?
No, I think any change is going to shake things up, but this track is it's pretty specific. The things you need to go fast here probably stay the same regardless of the downforce change. But we'll see. That's one thing I've learned, especially lately in the sport. It's so amazing how people move forward so quickly, and it's hard to say who will be the fastest car. We'll probably know after race practice tomorrow who's the car to beat.
Let's go right here to Tom Jensen on the front row.
Hi, Carl. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Last year at this race, you guys collectively, the Joe Gibbs squad, had a pretty embarrassing performance here, and then you turned it around and won everything that could be won pretty much the rest of the year. What happened after Phoenix that changed the direction of the team?
Well, everyone worked really hard, and I think you saw from the, I guess it must have been about this point on, there was a lot of forward momentum, a lot of improvement at Joe Gibbs Racing. I think we won with basically every package that NASCAR presented last year. We won at all sorts of types of track, all different types of tracks. But overall, I think it's just a team effort. This place, when I came over to JGR, it kind of shocked me how I didn't realize how much JGR had struggled at Phoenix, and they made it a point to work hard on that. So we'll see what a year has gotten us here, but hopefully it's good.
Let's go front row here, Lee Spencer. Lee?
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Kurt Busch mentioned something about the Firestone rubber, I guess it was from the Indy cars, said it tested here last month, making the track feel a little goofy. Did you get any of that from your runs?
This morning? I didn't. Well, like I said at the beginning, I noticed that the rubber felt different to me. I don't know what it is that's different, but it just seemed like the rubber. It just seemed like there was more of it, and it had a bigger effect on the car. And so you're saying that there was rubber here before we showed up that was from a test?
He said that he thought that you could see a different color in the racetrack. He thought it was from as much tires, as much rubber that was laid down from the Indy cars from last month.
That might be true. I did notice that it looked different to me, and it felt different. So, I hope it was Goodyear rubber because I hope that through the race that rubber has as big of an impact as it did in practice. This place, for a long time coming here, it was really neat because you could run a bunch of different grooves. And I think if the rubber's like it is now, if this is Goodyear rubber that we're seeing, then you're going to see that in the race. You're going to see the second groove down there and different things down here in 3 and 4.
Go ahead, Stan.
I didn't realize that.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Carl, a number of the drivers that are very popular today, there's just something about this track that you all seem to love that you don't seem to feel anywhere else. What is it about Phoenix International Raceway that grabs you the way it does?
I think there are a couple things about this place. First of all, it's just it's a neat place to come. I mean, Phoenix is neat. The desert's pretty cool, but overall the racetrack, I think the drivers, there's more. This place, it lets the driver do more things because they're two completely different corners. You approach them. I mean, really, it's like two different racetracks at each end. It gives the drivers more opportunity to showcase their skills, to communicate what the car is doing. It's a tougher or more complicated puzzle than a lot of the racetracks we go to, and so really, it's more fun. It's also if you go back on all the racing that's happened here. I go back to the Copper World Classic. That was the race I always watched here. It was so neat to watch the midgets and the Silver Crown cars and all that stuff here. I mean, to me, this has always just been a really special place. And it's just, I don't know, it's just that right size, too. You're going fast, but you can still race really close. It's fun.
And off the topic, a week ago, an astronaut came back down from space. Did you watch that, and what did it mean to you?
I didn't get to see that, but I did get the chance to go to the Kennedy Space Center before we came to Daytona, and that was really a neat experience. That was one of the coolest things I've seen, and actually I read The Martian last year, and Andy Weir's parents actually came out here to the track, the author of that book, and hung out, and we got them in, and that was a really cool. I think it's a cool time right now with everything going on with the space program and all the possibilities for the next 20 years or so. So I'm kind of into that stuff. I think it's pretty neat.
Go ahead, sir.
JerryLoveRacing.com. To go back to that statement you just made, you said this was your first pavement race?
Yes.
So you came from the dirt. Remember that first lap here?
Yeah, I remember the first lap here. So it's petrifying, really. That's probably the simplest way to describe it. I drove down into turn 1 in this Silver Crown car that some idiot had set up, namely me, and had no clue what was going to happen, and went screaming down the back straightaway. That's, I think, the fastest I'd ever gone in anything. And I had to come in and take a little break and think about it and then get going again. It was just such a new experience. Anybody that's driven a Silver Crown car here, they know what I'm talking about. It just feels like you're sitting in a chair with a rocket strapped to you and you're screaming down the back straightaway and everything's shaking and your head's buffeting in the wind. I mean, it was a whole new experience for me. So it's really cool. I mean, this place stands out in my racing career. That was one of the neatest weekends and really a turning point in my career. That was cool.
Thank you, Carl.
Any other questions? We'll finish up with Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Performance Racing Network and Kevin Gun Tires. Do you guys have any plan? Are you going back to Charlotte, or are you going to hang out here and do something fun over the next week or so?
Well, my guys, they're out here, so they've been doing a lot of fun stuff, but I've been going back and forth. But it is cool. This West Coast swing is pretty neat. I know it's hard on a lot of the guys because they do spend a lot of time from their family, but the teams get to hang out, get a little more time off. I think the guys went to a baseball game yesterday and had a good time with that. But I don't know how you guys are enjoying it, if you guys are all going back and forth or not, but it seems like everybody's having a good time with it.
Carl, thank you for coming in, and a lot of luck to you here this weekend at Phoenix.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.